you guys. So thank you so much for joining, and take this time to meditate for yourself and think about where you'd like to be in life and focus on that feeling of inspiration and aspiration and move forward. So close your eyes, imagine the feeling, and hold it close. Whilst listening to this beautiful, relaxing music, there will be 2 piles, so decide which pile you'd like to pick, pile 1 or pile 2. Which pile is calling you? Welcome to your reading, everyone. How are things going? I am going to be traveling soon, so I am just getting ready to do this reading. Hi, welcome. Make sure you have your nice hot cup of tea, and let's get started. All right, let's see what you guys have to share. Okay. This is a judgment-free zone. This is only guidance, and this should not tell you something you don't resonate with, or if you do resonate with it, just let it sit and decide what your best decision is. So right away, I can see that you are a little bit ready for change in a relationship. Perhaps it's not, how should I say this? With the 2 of Cups reversed, I see that there is a little bit of muddy waters in a relationship, if you will. And it's not so much as a reunion. It's more of a disruption kind of force that's in this particular relationship. So, yeah, perhaps you are looking for a new change in it, or you are just igniting a new kind of emotional pattern, and it's good to recognize those, especially when it comes to relationships. And yeah, so I can also see that you're probably hoping more for a harmonious relationship. This card usually talks about lovers and ceremonies and coming together. So if there's a little disharmony within your personal relationships or family, that's okay. Let's see what your cards have to say. And the problem. So perhaps there's just a need to know more information and to learn more about what's really going on behind the scenes, and to make a higher decision based on what you'd like to accomplish here. And the goal is to hopefully restore more balance with this new knowledge that you have found. The advice here is for a little bit of restrainment to contain certain things. There's a need to contain certain informations and patterns that could be harmful to others. Perhaps to just gain more knowledge before we go attacking other people, of course. I think in the end, there will be an appreciation for what kind of relationship that this brought you. There will be a new appreciation for all of that you've learned when it comes to balancing harmony and not being so blurred, just assuming going on, not really getting down to the bottom of things. And it's kind of, in a way, just making it hard to communicate. You know, this could be just simple family, but Two of Swords. I think Two of Swords is mental energy, so it's also balancing what you're thinking and just gathering the higher knowledge that you have, because you might just pick up on things and know more than what's going on right now currently. So, but really, some kind of heart-to-heart conversation is needed, and because of that, the outcome would most likely be a reignition of passion, a reignition of determination for hard work, and there's actually recognizing all that all that you've done to come how. I mean, you've done a lot of hard work, and how am I trying to say this? Basically, what I think this reading is talking about is the disharmony in relationships, and how sometimes every person in a relationship can assume that the other person knows what they're thinking, and that's not completely true, because without direct communication, well, we're basically just assuming and putting our own story together based on what we think and how we feel, and that's normal. It's an ego thing, and it's just a way to see how the world works. But if we just ask another person what's really going on, it's 4 of Swords. Well, 4 is still a number that has to do with stability, so 4 of Swords. So yeah, this is just talking about a little bit of disharmonious relationships, and it's just calling for inner healing and to really just trust your gut feeling with the High Priestess and acknowledge the higher intuition that you're receiving, whether it's and this is not based off of fear, but this is more of like the best decision that you can possibly make for yourself. And once you do that, you'll feel like you're having a sense of identity, and you're gonna feel very strong, and it's good because we are very strong as humans, and we are so powerful, and we can really shape our own destiny. Just like with this hammer, he's shaping his ideals basically, and I guess this is more of a sense of just standing up for what you believe in family situations, and taking time for yourself, because sometimes family can be always there, and it's just good to distance yourself once in a while, meditate, or hang out with some friends, or just hang out by yourself. Anything, but basically calls in for healing. Or maybe you do need to talk with your family, and maybe you do need to look in the mirror and think about this situation. But in the end, it's more about trusting your gut intuition and knowing what's better for you in the end, and how to stand up for yourself within families. So yeah, it's been draining you a little bit. Kind of like there's so much Pisces energy, things mixing together, things being blurry, situations and misunderstandings. And everyone's cup is just flowing everywhere, basically. But with the High Priestess and then Four of Swords, trusting your intuition and trusting the knowledge that you have right now within you is going to create a lot of happiness and healing, because you're listening to yourself and you're liberating yourself. And defending your own values and what you believe in, despite what others may think. It could really bring you a lot of bring you to a lot of conclusions, and bring you to a present moment where you feel more like you're shaping your destiny in life and not being swept away by the water, by the air, by the wishy-washiness of life. So that is your your cards. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, hello, welcome back. I have chosen for you this beautiful star. I like to collect jewelry that falls off and use them as charms, so there's yours. And the star is calling to me because it's usually a person or an object that is shining brightly and totally without regrets, living their life. So that was just, the message. Okay, so to begin, I just want to thank you for being here. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for being present. And I would love to help you with guidance. And wow, one moment, okay. With guidance with what you were a little bit concerned about, right? So without further ado, let's get into your reading. This is such a fun way to shuffle. Just mix it all up. どうやって言う日本語で混ぜてお出たOh my word. So, beautiful sunset outside. Interesting. Oh, have we here? The Chariot. The Chariot is the Cancerian card. It talks about movement, about travel, and determination. It is also mostly concerned with the water signs: Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. It's about reining in your emotions and reining in your emotions. Cancers are very emotional. So it's about reining in the emotions and traveling. Okay, let's get more of it. You have very go-getter energy and you're trying to aspire for something. However, mentally you could be holding yourself back and being a little too serious about this problem. And there's possibly a need for a lighter energy involved to lighten up when it comes to this. And, you know, there could be self-doubt when it comes to this movement, this change. Could be a little bit of a fear. I'm also seeing that there is Knight of Swords, no communication. So usually this card would be talking about intellect and bravery, or being very like a go-getter, and that's what you're aspiring to be. Yes, the blockage could potentially be a little being I would say a little emotionally unbalanced, and kind of like a just having a little bit of a fear of getting what you want to get. And really that that tower needs to collapse, that afraid mindset where it could make you want to make a decision that's based out of fear, and that keeps you stuck. But that needs to fall away so you can have more of a richer experience here in life. Now, yes, this sudden loss can make you feel a little sad. And more of like you're wallowing in your emotions. But I think that's a little needed. This change of pace, this change of release, and this acknowledgement that there are brighter times ahead, and that before you make a huge decision, just make sure that you are in alignment, mind, body, and spirit, with, oh, what is really going on here? What really happened? Now, with the Chariot being upright, and this being a situation of wanting to go, I can see that you are going to push for it. But with the Knight of Swords as your blockage, I can see that it is a mental battle of trying to get over whatever fear you have of accomplishing great things, of creating a business and an empire for yourself. And in order to build that strong empire, you need to tear down the old foundation and really let go of all that sorrow and negativity, so you can really strive and leave things behind you and move with a lighter foot. Princess of Discs. Princess of Disc. I'm reading this earthy part of earth, or the element on the brink of transfiguration. She is standing. Her crest is the head of the ram. Her scepter descends into the earth, where its head becomes a diamond. Behind a grove of trees and an altar resembling a wheat sheaf, she carries a disc in whose center is the Chinese ideogram, denoting the twin spiral force of creation in perfect equilibrium. This is ultimately, in the end, especially with this tower, it's a transformation of ideas, a transformation of that give and take in emotional quandaries. You want to be in the mode of letting go of your emotions, and perhaps just when you think about it enough, it could just tear you down, and you can fall into the mindset of not being good enough, not being brave enough to accomplish this big change and move. But you are a chameleon, and you can shift that frequency and that mindset to a better outcome of transfiguration, and where you are ultimately creating things in the physical realm what you desire. And it is an ultimate lighter energy, playful, loving, and in a place where you are shining brightly. This can also be talking about honing in that emotional force within you, because we have a lot of emotions, and I can see here you do, and we can channel that emotional energy into something different, something that is more worthwhile for us, and not into the lower functions of life, like certain addictions or just certain people that we are addicted to, or patterns that we are falling into. We can change and we can transfigure, so we no longer fit those patterns, and we can create I keep saying this, a new foundation, a new change, a new perspective, and that will make us lighter, where we can ascend to a state where we are just so divine in our thinking. So you are, I can see, going to let that sorrow go, going to go for what you want, and create what you like to in this earthly realm, because you can, and because it's your mind shift that you have, that shift in perspective. And really, it's mostly just about, well, when it comes to our emotions, figuring out what we've been telling ourselves and what we have believed for so long, and thinking about, okay, why does this make me sad? Why does this make me fear? Why does my ego not want to let go of this thought or situation? But the important thing here is not to have this stagnation and self-regret once you change your perspective. It's to move on and replace that with a more uplifting perspective on not wasting your sorrow or wasting your time on this entity, and redirecting that energy to better situations, most likely yourself, which will give you more power and stability, and where you're honing in your destiny again. So that is the reading. Thank you so much.